Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the Designated Pundits. MLS Week 27 is right around the corner. We're kind of hitting that home stretch before a little, month and a half long summer break like you do in professional sports. But we're right here, and we are giving you picks for Friday and Saturday, July 25th and 26th, Major League Soccer. Let's get into it. As always, thank you for joining us live. Remember, our chat is open. We can pull your comments right on screen. If you have something to say it, and we will discuss it. Today, we are talking about 9 of the 15 matches that are coming in Week 27 for Major League Soccer. Make sure you subscribe. Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on all major podcast platforms, Spotify now with video, and of course, YouTube. Something new you're going to see is ads on our videos. Please actually watch those. We get like a tenth of a cent every time one of you guys tunes in here. That's going to help us bring stuff like this to you each and every week. So thank you for joining us here. I think we have some really fantastic plays. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Absolutely wonderful. How are you?
Not bad.
Alex?
I feel like I'm in paradise here with you guys. Let me tell you. Paradise.
Alex with like his laptop on like a recliner, rocking back and forth. It's like the weirdest POV.
It's been a rough week. Man, it's been a rough week, man. Let me tell you, it's been a rough week, man.
It has, but hey, we're here to talk about Major League Soccer, not about politics, not about famous people dying. We're here to talk about Major League Soccer. Last week, we had an uncharacteristic down week. If you are watching on Spotify or on YouTube, you can see us with all of our plays up on the board. It was myself down 2 units, leading the way in the negative. Scott down just a couple pennies, and Deon down 1.7 units. That brings us to plus 19.93 units on the Major League Soccer season. Of course, the goal was to keep up with the week numbers, so we have a little bit to catch up, and I think we have a really good show in order to do that for you here this week. Let's get right into it. The first match we have to talk about tonight is FC Dallas hosting NYCFC. FC Dallas is 6 wins, 7 draws, and 10 losses, while New York City has 10 wins, 5 draws, and 8 losses. This one is going to be Friday night at Toyota Stadium, and I have the only official play. Let's take a look at the odds here. The home team, FC Dallas, is plus 140, with NYCFC being plus 180. Now, that's a home favorite, but we're starting to get almost to even, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was to kind of rock back before the game started. Over 2.5 goals, minus 158. I've been taking the under. FC Dallas has seen a lot of goals to score recently, and I almost nailed that under until like a last-minute penalty last week. FC Dallas that threw it up to 3 goals. The under is plus 128. I picked a team on a draw no bet. Scott, if you had to give me a lean, what team would you be playing?
This was a tough one. I really wanted to make a pick on this, actually. The problem is neither of these teams are reliable in any way, shape, or form in this game. Dallas's home form is not good, and New York City FC's away form is also really mediocre. If I had a lean, I'd say NYCFC maybe, but a big part of that I think is because Lucho Acosta is missing in this game. If I were really gonna make a play in this game, though, I'd be looking at something like Petter Musa to score anytime or have 2 shots on target. I think as an anytime goal contribution, score or assist, he's like plus 100. That just wasn't good enough for me.
Love it. Someone saying that they're watching on the phone and on live TV. Fantastic. Thank you for your 20-cent contribution to this week. It's absolutely going to help out. And I do say that jokingly. Of course, every little bit helps. Alex, I took NYCFC on the draw no bet. Talk me out of it.
I can't. I don't trust the Acosta's not playing, man. I can't look at Dallas. Again, I know the record doesn't count. When Dallas is home summertime, I kind of look at them because I'm thinking visiting teams are going to have a problem with the heat. And NYCFC, I just don't trust them on the road. This is a tough. I didn't want to touch this game. If you're going to go any direction, it makes sense to me. I'm leaning towards NYCFC, especially if Acosta's not playing. Anytime goal score, maybe Musa, I'd look at something like that. But maybe both teams to score. I would look at maybe no for one of them, like a 1-0, 2-0 final. I'm seeing here possibly, maybe something like that. But other than that, NYCFC, some kind of combination is probably your best bet if you're going to bet this game.
Luciano Costa is not out yet. He's listed as questionable, but also Anderson Julio, Pedrino. Those are like 3 of the top contributors for Dallas. I just think that's going to be too much for them to overcome. Plus, NYCFC, they haven't been great on the road, but they do have 2 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses. They've also seen 27 goals in their 12 home matches, which is just over that 3-goal mark. If this is a shootout, FC Dallas doesn't have the players to contribute to keep up. NYCFC, yeah, they're lackluster, but draw no bet plus 106. It's just a little disrespectful for me, and we're gonna have to hash this one out and see it as it comes. Next up, the Houston Dynamo host the LA Galaxy. Houston Dynamo, 7 wins, 6 draws, 11 losses. LA Galaxy, only 3 wins on the season, 7 draws, and 14 losses. This one is also going to be played in Texas. Houston Dynamo are plus 105, while the LA Galaxy are plus 240. Over 2.5 goals lands at minus 144, and under 2.5 goals lands at plus 118. There is one official play. It is on Scott, but I support it 100%. Scott, give us what you're thinking.
I think you support it because I'm taking a leaf out of your book here. This is really not a soccer play. The odds are wrong. The 240 for the Galaxy is just a little bit disrespectful for a team who only has 1 loss in their last 5 games. This is a team who is actually improving right in front of our eyes, and they're healthy. The list of players who are unavailable for this game is 1 player deep. It's Ricky Pooch. Right? This is a team that has everybody present. So you would think, okay, what about Houston? Is Houston really good at home? Not really. They're on a 3-game winless streak. And then their last wins, they have a 1-0 win at home against St. Louis City. That's not very impressive. They have a 4-3 win against San Diego. That is actually pretty impressive, but San Diego just sort of has that in them. We knew that ever since the beginning. They win by the sword, they die by the sword. Like, that's just part of the dynamic with them. Anyway, I don't think Houston's done very much recently, especially at home. Their home record is not that good to be favored this heavily. So I am picking the Galaxy just because the odds are disrespectful to the Galaxy. So there's like an advantage there. Is that I like it. I like it. Well, here's a few things. First of all, I do want to point out just a couple of things here. Houston, they're going to be without some top players. Canones, Shevchenko, Tarbell, Escobar, Ponce is questionable. Galaxy, and we won't know this because it is Thursday night. Maya Yoshida popped up on the injury report, which scares me a little bit. He's listed as out in certain sites, but then MLS revised it and he's no longer listed as out. So I'm not really sure what him or Peck are doing for this matchup. But you're right. Plus that
240
has changed since I looked at it.
I see Peck is questionable. That's what I say on the MLS website. That's what I see. Peck is questionable. That's the only thing I see. That's the one thing that scared me in this game. I really wanted to take the double chance LA Galaxy in this game, but I was texting you guys beforehand. Houston Dynamo, man. I got no. What's the word I'm looking for?
No trust.
No bearing.
I just don't feel. I don't feel them week in, week out. And again, the home thing's the only thing that's scaring me in this game. But the LA Galaxy have been playing pretty well the last month or so, getting ready to go on break. This is going to be a big win for them if they can get something on the road. I see where Scott's going with this. If anything, I'm definitely looking at LA Galaxy way. But the last second, the Peck injury, and then I don't know, man. It
does give me pause.
Yeah. But the odds plus 156. Draw no bet with the way you're doing that. I think that's probably your best bet here if you're going to go any direction. I kind of like that. It's pretty good payout.
Love it. And we haven't seen the best of Marco Reus in MLS yet. He is finally turning it on and proving himself to be something worth noting. Just a little asterisk next to this one. With Tarbell out, that means Jonathan Bond is going to start. A little revenge game for Jonathan Bond here. One official play, Galaxy draw no bet at plus 156. Heading into the next matchup, we have LAFC hosting the Portland Timbers. LAFC 10-6-5, while the Portland Timbers have 9 wins, 7 draws, and 7 losses. This is also a Friday night late match, 10:30. Looking at the odds, LAFC minus 220. We're going to talk about exactly why that is and why that's probably appropriate for this matchup. Portland Timbers plus 480. Under 2.5 goals is minus 235. Heavy favoriting the over. The under plus 186 if you can stomach it. Me and Scott have 2 official plays. He is taking a goal total, and I'm taking a team with a goal total. Alex, if you had to pick out of a hat, I mean, LAFC, Portland, the numbers just tell us the whole story, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out both sides of this game. I don't see how Portland does anything here. I mean, I don't know, man. The odds are crazy. Yes, the way you guys are looking at this, breaking it down like that, goals. Yeah, I see where you're going with this, but I don't. Portland to me is in trouble in this game. I almost took this game. I was looking at LAFC at the last second. I backed out, but I agree with you the way you're going with the goal thing here. That's probably the safest bet.
I'm taking LAFC in over 2.5 goals at minus 125.
Yeah, I think that's the safest bet right there. Yeah,
I
like
found that gives us the best. Now, LAFC alone scored 8 goals in their last 3 home matches, which kind of points us towards that over. I think that they can reach 2.5, and I didn't want 3.5 because I'm not sure Portland is going to be a willful participant in this. However, when you look at the players who are out, LAFC, they are without 4 defenders. Palencia and Segura are suspended. Chanot and Aaron Long are out. That might give
Long's out for the year
to put one in the back of the net. As for Portland, who's it going to be? I don't know. Anthony is out. DaCosta's out. Rodriguez has been out all season. I get it, but he's still listed on the injury report. While LAFC, they, picked up this guy, Dilrosun. I don't even know how to say his name, but I watched him play all last week. Fantastic pickup. Pairing him with Bouanga, who just looked like a kid on the playground during the All-Star game. I don't care if he's tired. He's going to be performing. I just saw the life in his eyes over this past week. And Nathan Ordaz settling into the center forward role. I'm okay with missing some defenders because I'm taking LAFC and the over. If it comes to a shootout, I don't think Portland can keep up.
Yeah, I don't think Portland can keep up. I think your bet is really solid. I went for the over 3.5 just for plus money.
Goals.
I'm not too worried about it in the sense that because LAFC are missing so many defenders, I think Portland should steal a consolation goal here somewhere. Kevin Kelsey will still be on the field. A half chance, a set piece, something like that. There's still an opportunity for him to grab a consolation and for them to be a participant. But LAFC absolutely should kind of romp this. They should run up the scoreline, and with the defenders out, they should be looking to actually inflate the numbers. They shouldn't be looking to sit on a 1-0 game because they don't have the team for that in the moment. I've been thinking about something that Jeremy Peterson, friend of the show, tweeted out about Portland a few weeks ago. He said, this is a team that soccer happens nearby them, but they don't do soccer. It just happens nearby. This, like you said, Alex, this Portland team is in trouble. They turn the ball over. They make mistakes. I think that all plays in LFC's favor. And there should be plenty of opportunities for LAFC to get goals in this.
I got a question for both of you guys that we haven't really talked about. What are you guys' thoughts on players that played in the All-Star game and the skills challenge coming to the weekend games? Did any factor in any of your picks this today?
I would actually be more concerned about the skills challenge than I would.
That's where I was going with that. That's where I was going with that.
The game was like 20 minutes per player. Like a lot of players weren't playing very hard, and I'm okay with that. But the skills challenge is hard. Like you saw the YouTuber, what was his name? Smoke or something?
Speed.
Oh,
what's up, Bob's mod today?
Clip that for the future. Speed, you could see when he was like doing like that shooting contest, like his leg was physically getting tired doing the same motion. These are pros; they do it all day and all out. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Maybe they were partying a little bit. I don't know.
Well, again, people going from Austin, like the travel Austin to where you got to go around the country. I thought about it. I got to be honest with you. Some of these, What are you, 1-day rest?
If anything, I'd be more worried that these guys actually didn't do the regular workload that they would have done in practice. Because these guys, they work hard all the time, right? I don't think they put in any work or whatever. I don't think they went over the regular workload for this. If anything, I think some of them probably went under, and they might lack a little bit of the sharpness because they went under this week.
I think for me, it depends a lot less on the travel and more on like the mentality of the player. Like, was this player looking to party or was this player looking like to get down to business? For me with Buwang, it doesn't matter. He looked like he was having so much fun, and I think he's going to be rested enough. I think maybe the plane plus the shortened minutes maybe kind of equal each other out. But I think maybe like if Luciano Costa was there and playing, I might be like, he's a guy who maybe like went a little hard, or just it ruined his cycle just a little bit to make it more of a big deal. But when I see, that's the one thing I like about the All-Star game. I know we talk about it at length. Like, it doesn't matter, but for me, seeing these players like look like kids on the field, like it does bring a certain bit of humanity back to what we do, as handicappers, just to talk about what they're worth to our pockets and nothing else.
Yeah, I think too, from a mentality perspective, some of those guys come back, they're refreshed, they've had fun, they've been kind of, honored or recognized for having a good season so far. They've had a chance to sort of be with other good players in a pretty casual environment. You come back home a little bit refreshed, maybe, too, a little ready to go.
2 official plays for LAFC versus Portland. LAFC in over 2.5 goals, -125, and the over on 3.5 goals at +105. Moving now, Inter Miami hosting FC Cincinnati. Miami 12 wins, 5 draws, and 4 losses. FC Cincinnati 15 wins, 3 draws, and 6 losses. This is a Saturday, 7:15. I guess we just need so much Messi attention. It starts 15 minutes earlier than all the other games. This one is at Chase Stadium. When you look at the odds, Inter Miami +100, FC Cincinnati +210, over 2.5 goals -265, and again another huge total there, and under 2.5 goals +200. 2 official plays, myself and Alex, and they are the same official play. Inter Miami +100. Alex, let me know why.
Oh, it's very simple for me. Messi's rested. This criticism online not playing the All-Star game. This is a big game for Inter Miami home against Cincinnati Eastern Conference. He's rested. I'm +100 odds at home. I'm taking this. I'm riding the Messi train. Listen, people are criticizing Messi online. You guys you're out of your minds. This is the GOAT. He's above MLS. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't want to play All-Star game. He doesn't have to play the All-Star game. He played 9 games in 30 days, most of them 90 minutes. He could sit this out. It's an exhibition. It's not even an exhibition. All-Star game is worse than an exhibition. He's not going to be in the league much longer. You should be honoring Juan here. You should not be criticizing him. This is insane. This is a big game. I'm taking a big game moment from a big-time player. I'm taking Messi and Inter Miami +100.
FC Cincinnati is fantastic on the road this season, 8-1-4, but they've scored 18 and conceded 17, meaning they're getting blown out or they're winning by a goal. I think that in this result, you see more of the team that is only +1 on the road, and Inter Miami is going to trounce them. Inter Miami have an +8 goal differential in 10 home matches for comparison there. I do think this is a high-risk match, but we said at the beginning of the season, when Inter Miami is +100 at home or better, we bet on Inter Miami. We have to do it here. Again, Cincinnati, they could be without Denki. They will be without Nudobo. Miami, they have so many players that when I see the injuries, it's actually mostly just like the bench players. Falcone is suspended. Maybe we get a couple extra goals off the back.
And they're gonna introduce the new Atletico Madrid defender that night. The crowd's gonna go crazy from the $15 million transfer. They should announce him at game time for that. That's another reason why Denki questionable to me. Cincinnati have any chance? Denki's got to be 100%. If he's not 100%, I don't like Cincinnati at all. Again, Messi at home, a big-time spot. I'm taking Inter Miami to +100. I'm very confident in this bet.
I'm also trailing that bet. Inter Miami +100. Scott, any thoughts?
Yeah, we have seen Miami do this kind of every year. They have a main rival in the East, and they basically trade wins. Miami will go on the road and lose or win. But it'll be like a multi-goal kind of blowout thing. And then the reverse fixture, the other team will do it. I expect Miami to win this. I expect them to win it by multiple goals. I do not think 1-0 is on the cards. Multiple goals.
I agree. You could also add a little goal total to
This
that.
is a must
Miami
watch.
and over 1.5 if you want to get some money. But overall, I'm not really stretching it too much. Cincinnati, we've seen them drop zeros too. I don't know, but I'm taking Inter Miami. I think that is a pretty safe bet. Again, when Inter Miami are plus money at home, you take Inter Miami, even if it's a plus 100. Next up, Atlanta United host the Seattle Sounders. Atlanta's 4-8-11, while the Sounders have 10 wins, 7 draws, and 6 losses. There's one official play. It's me. Let's take a look at the odds here first. You have Atlanta plus 155 at home, Seattle Sounders plus 160. This might be even closer to even by kickoff. Over 2.5 goals, minus 172, and under 2.5 goals is plus 134. When you look at the team totals, you have plus 108 for Atlanta to score 2 or more, and plus 106 for Seattle Sounders to score 2 or more. So while we are heavy on the over, seems like the sportsbook doesn't know who's going to score that goal. Well, I'll tell you who's going to score 2 goals. It might be, but it's probably both teams. But I'm taking Atlanta United plus 108. That is the official play here. Atlanta scored 2 or more goals in each of their last 4 home matches, totaling 11 goals in those 4 games. Seattle, while they typically play to unders, especially on the road, they've allowed 2 goals, 3 goals, 1 goal, and 4 goals in their last 4 away matches. Their defense hasn't played as a full unit, and while they are finally back to fitness, they just played for like 2 months with players either injured or suspended, mostly suspended guys. Nuhu, keep your head on your shoulders. But Gomez is finally back to health. I don't know how much to health. You did have Obed Vargas, one of the youngest players at the All-Star game. He's one of those guys who maybe, needs to stick to a regimented schedule in order to be really successful. Then we look at the players who are out. Areola, João Paulo, Jordan Morris, Paul Rothrock. That's too many players for me. For Atlanta, they're just about full strength. They're going to be without Fortune. Gregerson probably making his return this weekend. That's just going to be enough for me. Atlanta team total over 1.5 goals on Thomas, the backup goalkeeper. I just think a lot of things are in Atlanta's favor, and it's a plus money play on the home team to score 2 goals. That's something we don't see very often. Usually there's like minus 150, minus 160 as a default. I like Atlanta to score twice on the Seattle Sounders, but I recognize it's a result that shouldn't happen at full strength.
Yeah, this is one that scares me. Atlanta's not reliable enough this season, but it's a weird one. It's hard to wrap your head around it. They have the players to do this, absolutely. They are slowly improving.
Almiron with the band on now.
Makes difference. We mentioned that I think in our last recap show or a preview show a week ago. So they are improving. For plus money, you could do a lot worse.
Absolutely. One official play in the Atlanta-Seattle game. That is Atlanta team total over 1.5 at plus 108. Moving on now to Charlotte hosting Toronto FC. The 11-win Charlotte faces the 5-win Toronto. This is 7:30 Saturday, Bank of America Stadium. Charlotte minus 190. Toronto plus 410. Toronto does have some good players. They are all unavailable. Gomes, Manlui, Wingo, with Thompson, Petretta, Flores, and Bryn Hilton all listed as questionable. They are short 2 designated players, although some players like Corbineau have looked really, really good. Charlotte, heavy home favorite. Alex, how did you make this play work?
I didn't like the minus 190 or whatever the hell it was for Charlotte. So I was fooling around, like looking around how I can prop this, parlay that. I took a lot of time, and I came up with both teams to score no, and an over/under of under 2.5 at plus 230. I mean, I saw plus 230 with that. How's Toronto going to score in this game? And if Toronto scores, I think they win 1-0. That's when I'm looking at this. Plus 230 me. I get excited with these combo plus 200, 300s. I try to find one a week. I like this one. I'm going to stick with this. Both teams score no, and over/under of and plus the 230. I like the plus 230 in this. I think it could happen.
I also like that price, although the bet kind of seems like if Pep Biel goes off, he can cover that total of 2.5 goals.
Oh, 3. I mean, Charlotte 3 scored. They said 3-0. I mean, could have happened. Could. But I'm looking at like a 2-0 Charlotte.
2-0 is probably
1-0 Charlotte. Maybe Toronto sneaks out with a 1-0, smash and grab, score early and put 11 in the back, park the bus. Could happen. Plus 230. I'm going to roll the dice on this. Charlotte's going to win. I try to make a nice, minus 190, try to do combinations. I came up with this.
Toronto's done a pretty good job lately of keeping scores low. I think the thing that would concern me is Charlotte, gets a goal. You're in a situation where it's like running late in the game. Charlotte starts to park the bus, and Charlotte's defense just hasn't been that good lately. They're only 12 goals conceded at home. They're much better at home than on the road. But that's where, Toronto starts, they get the big bodies forward. They're swinging stuff in. It's chaos. Doesn't matter that they don't have a good goal scorer on the field. Something sneaks in and then you're 1-1. That would be my concern. But otherwise, with the players out for Toronto,
that's why. Yeah, that's why.
Sure. I think you've got 89 minutes of clear sailing. And
that's I've been screwed. You guys know I've been screwed lately with these crazy picks before. A couple weeks, Atlanta, Chicago, the injury time. That was at plus 310. I almost hit. Let's hope this one hits for everybody out there. I've been real close a couple of times. This one I think is going to happen.
Love it. One official play. Both teams score no and under 2.5 goals plus 230. Next up, the Philadelphia Union hosts the Colorado Rapids. This is also a Saturday match. You have Philadelphia Union. They are minus 190 at home, with the Rapids being plus 410. Over 2.5 goals, minus 215. Under 2.5 goals, plus 164. That 2.5 goal market is just about dead at this point in the season. We need to be betting 3.5 if we want to make any real plays here. Two official plays. I have no official play. I lean towards Philadelphia. I lean towards goals. I like both teams to score. Those are all within the realms of possibility. Scott, how are you making this work?
I took all those things that you just said and I put them together. Philly and both teams to score. I also am leaning towards goals. Colorado, in their last 5 games, 3 of them, they have scored 3 times. Philly's defense is much better than that. I don't expect them to allow Colorado to score 3 times, especially when Philly's at home. But I think Colorado can turn that offensive form, is the word I think. They can turn that form into at least 1 goal in this game. And then I expect Philly to put 2-3 past Colorado and get out of this.
Alex, your official play is the Philadelphia win and over 2.5 minus 105. So you traded both teams to score, or maybe Colorado doesn't find the back of the net, but Philly puts an extra 1 or 2 in there. Minus 105, still a great play. Tell me how you came to that conclusion.
Yeah, again, minus 190. Let's combination this to bring these down to make a payout half decent. And I was looking for want to get a solid win here on the board, since the last bet I made was more of a gamble to me based on odds more than a feeling. This, to me, I think Philly should score a lot of goals in this game. And for me, they should win the game. I mean, I think 3 goals is easily they could Philadelphia score. If not, maybe Colorado could sneak one in, Mihailovic or somebody. I'm not sure, but Philly should win this game. The over 2.5 minus 105. Why not?
2 official plays, Philadelphia Union versus Colorado Rapids. Philly and both teams to score plus 145, and Philly and over 2.5 goals minus 105. Heading now to my New York Red Bulls. Very similar records here. Chicago Fire 9-5-9. Red Bulls 9-6-9. This game is Saturday, 8:30 p.m. at Soldier Field. Chicago Fire minus 105 home favorites, while the Red Bulls are up plus 250. Over 2.5 goals, minus 172, and under 2.5 goals, plus 134. Me and Alex have 2 official plays, and they both are based on the fact that home away splits are everything for Red Bull this year. 13 goal differential at home, 8-2-2 record. They are 1 win, 4 draws, 7 losses with a minus 9 road differential. This is like the opposite when they were playing high press ball and like daring you to play with possession and trying to. It's the opposite. They are great at home, terrible on the road. Chicago is a logical winner here, but they have a measly 2 win, 4 draw, 4 loss at home. So I took them with both teams to score and on the Chicago double chance. So Chicago double chance, both teams to score -107. Red Bull scores in 7 of their 12 away matches. Chicago's seen both teams to score 60% of their matches, including both of the last 2. In fact, both these teams are in current form to be scoring and conceding a lot. I'm not really sure I trust Chicago, so I'm taking the double chance. But pairing it with both teams to score, Red Bull find the back of the net at least once in these road games, and I don't think Chicago's going to do anything special to keep them out of the back of the net. My official play, Chicago double chance, both teams score -107. Alex, you have a similar odds bet.
Yeah, Red Bulls have only won twice in Chicago since 2018. Red Bulls on the road, you cannot even look at them to win ever. I wouldn't, until they start show some kind of positive results on the road. I wouldn't even look at the Red Bulls at all on the road. Chicago -105. Why not? I was trying to maybe get a combination, get a little better odds, but I think Chicago just wins straight up in this game. I don't know why. Every week I look at Chicago. For me, they're fun to watch. I like Berhalter ball, and I kind of like Chicago Fire. Defensively, they're not the greatest team in the world, but they're fun offensively to watch. I think they're going to win this game at -105.
It was a nice progression because if you're going to be bad, you at least want to be bad and exciting.
They're fun to watch. I mean,
as a New York Giants fan, I can tell you for a decade and a half, nothing is worse than a bad team that's also not scoring and just like letting drives go. Chicago Fire's like that. Like they're going to go and beat some really good teams on the road. Their front four is fantastic. Kuiper, Zinkernagel, Gutierrez.
Nobody talks about Zinkernagel. What a year he's having. Quietly, man, but he's a player. What a pickup by Chicago, really, right under the radar. That was
no one talks about Zinkernagel if you don't listen to this particular.
You know what I mean? Outside,
the one we're on right now. Yeah. If you don't listen to this show, you might not have heard of him.
Yeah, it's like no, I think that Chicago team is a lot of fun to watch, and the fact that they could lose any game by 5 goals is part of the fun. They could also win any game by 5 goals. I think the play that I like the best here is Bob's double chance. Sacrifice a few points on it, yes, but Chicago at home, just a little unpredictable. That's part of the charm. I could see them not going off here and the game ends in kind of a 1-1 draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the draw at +270. I mean, Red Bulls hasn't been doing it. And the funny thing is, I think we've predicted no draws on this show in the first 27 weeks. It's just a little unpredictable this season.
You guys laugh now, but this is actually a playoff battle for the one of the last playoff spots. This is going to go down. Like, this is an important result for both. Very serious. Yeah, and both these teams are fighting for one of the last playoff spots. Remember, Red Bull have the record in North America. I don't know how many years in a row they made the playoffs.
A lot.
With no trophy. This year they're in trouble, man. I really think the Rebels are in trouble making the playoffs, but that's another story another time.
That's only if you don't count the preseason Emirates Cup, Alex. Moving on now, St. Louis City is hosting Minnesota United. St. Louis City 4 wins. Minnesota United's got 11. This is 8:30 at Energizer Park. Looking at the odds here, you have St. Louis at +170 and Minnesota United at +150. Over 2.5 goals, -162, and the under is at +126. You have some team totals here. St. Louis +124 for over 1.5 goals, -158 for under. And Minnesota +102 for over a goal and a half, -130 for under a goal and a half. I love all the goal totals. If you like either team to score, they're both plus money. That's going to be really one of my official plays. I'm taking the St. Louis team total over 1.5 at +124. Scott is taking Minnesota double chance and over 2.5 goals at +115. Scott, we'll go to you first.
Well, I'll tell you why I actually like what you say. I like both of these teams to score. Minnesota's the best first half team in the league. And all they have to do is be who they are and get the goal in the first half. That's going to force St. Louis to come out and play, and actually that's going to open up the game, and that's going to lead to more goals. I think the danger for goals is if Minnesota kind of shuts up shop and keeps it at 0-0 for a long time. But I think that I think that Minnesota will be able to use their sort of diverse weapons. They can play on the wings. They can play through the middle. They've got different guys that can hurt you. And I think that will be the key. They'll be able to unlock St. Louis in the first half, get that first goal, force St. Louis to come out. And that's where the second and third goals are going to come in. And that'll be the opportunity for St. Louis. That's going to put the pressure on them to go out and play. And that's where I think like your team total comes in.
Now, St. Louis has only scored 12 goals in their last 10 matches at home. A lot of that offensive slump has to do with, 12 in their last 10 overall. But a lot of that has to do with only playing 6 of their 10 matches on the road. They have these long spells where they're away. And remember, St. Louis, when they're away, they're going like nearly East Coast to West Coast each and every week. They're stuck in the Western Conference. And I think that has a little more to do with it than we might like to say. St. Louis scored a lowly 14 goals, 11 home matches. 11 of those came in just their last 5. This offense is lighting up a little bit. They got guys coming back. Wallum is going to be back. They have Totland is going to be back. It just seems like now might be the right time for the team to start clicking. Klaus has looked really good at points throughout the season. Minnesota, they have Pereira and Romero suspended. Pereira, I think, is an underrated player in Major League Soccer. He's one of those players that, like, he never shows up on the score sheet, but when you watch the game, it's like he's stirring that midfield. You know, he's taking really, really big control over the matches. And without Romero, you know, maybe that gives them an extra chance, St. Louis, to put something in the back of the net. I just think there's just enough here to really want to take the over on 1.5 goals. Minnesota United, they've allowed 13 goals in 12 away matches, but that doesn't matter because they're home here. So, you know, yeah, let's go with over. Let's go with some goals. Let's go with Minnesota United, double chance and over 2.5. St. Louis City team total over 1.5. 2-2 draw would be fantastic. We would cash both slips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that that these both cash, and I actually think that it probably suits Minnesota's game plan to make both of them cash.
I agree. Let's move on now. This is our plays for the week. I have 6. Scott, you have 4. Alex, you have 4. Remember, you can come here every week as we go live with the recap show or with our predictions. And I think we're actually taking a small little, like, not a hiatus, but like a couple of weeks off of betting because I think League's Cup is on the other end of this break here. We're going to have to take a little, little absence of Major League Soccer. I'm not sure if it's this week or next. I'm going to have to look ahead on our calendar here, but I do know League's Cup's going to come and that's going to mess up everything we're doing. Yeah, that's next week, Tuesday, July 29th, but we may not be talking about League's Cup or doing bets for those games, but we're going to be talking about the changes that are made, right? This is a huge transfer window where there's going to be a lot of players changing, DPs getting signed, players even on their way out. Stay tuned on the Designated Pundits, and you can find out all about that. We will be back each and every week, whether or not we're talking about, betting, because League's Cup, we're not betting that, right? Just in general?
Probably not. It's such a kind of a crapshoot.
It itself is a money grab, and money grabbing off of a money grab is kind of like a weird vibe.
Feels morally wrong.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. I can't be any more
Say
specific.
It again, and maybe I'll believe you the fourth time.
I don't understand. Why would you do this in the middle of a season? Is just, it's horrific.
Money makes the monkey dance. Anyway, guys, peace. Have a great week. Thank you for joining us on the Designated Pundits.
Yep.